we talk about deja vu. When I came across this brother's clip, he has some good ass content, by the way, on TikTok. He's a real life drill sergeant at Fort Jackson, South Carolina, which is the home of the boot camp for the recruits of the Army. This gave me a lot of fun memories. I felt like now with everything going on, we need a little bit, comedy. We need some fun times. We need to bring back some funny videos because I've been real emotional these past couple of days. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. But anyway, fun fact, in case you didn't know, I too served. I was in the Army back in the 2000s, a long time ago. I was a recruit and happily medically retired now by the grace of God. Hallelujah. Anyway, when I was a recruit back in them days, let me tell y'all, this man was spot on. He did not lie. Like every drill sergeant, I kid you not, I had was mean as hell, ghetto. They all had a mouthful of golds back in the 2000s. Now they can't do that, but back then they had a rack full of gold teeth. They all drove like the same car. They either had a Denali, a Yukon, or a Cadillac Escalade on like 28-inch rims, which was ridiculous. And I'll never forget this one brother. He's real crazy. He was a chocolate brother, mouthful of golds. And I think he was from Florida. We had a lot of them from like Florida, Georgia, South Carolina. They all was in the same area. And every time he would come to formation when we would line up, get ready for the day, that brother would literally roll up to formation, blasting his stereo system to the max, sounding just like this video. Man. But I don't know which one's worse. Whether if it was the drill sergeants with the mouth rack of golds or the females that was down there. They was just as bad. Especially the common folk is what I call them, of Columbia, South Carolina. Oh my God. When I had finished boot camp, graduated, right, I went over to the schoolhouse to learn my job. They call it AIT, Advanced Individual Training. It's been a while, forgive me. But anyway, when I went to the schoolhouse to train for my job, I was what's called a 42 Alpha, which is a human resources specialist. So, long story short, while we were in training, we actually had what's called 4-day weekends and weekend passes. So whenever the drill sergeants will come out, they do inspection, we pass with flying colors, we do a good job, blah, blah, blah. They would give us weekend passes to go off post. Now, let me tell y'all something. When I say them folks was wild, think of Freaknik. Y'all remember Freaknik? If y'all old school, y'all remember Freaknik. If you from the 2000s era, where I come from. So Freaknik, in case you were new or if you're never aware of, the culture, was an era where a lot of black people came across in like major black cities like Atlanta. This is where it originated, was Atlanta. And then they moved over to places like Oakland, California, and all these other, cities across America back in the 2000s. And it would just be like one big, huge black picnic, just jungle beach, pretty much was what it was. And that's how it was for boot camp. Like, I'm not joking. Like, Columbia, South Carolina is that place where if you have never seen some strange things after dark, you will see them in Columbia, South Carolina. Put it like this. Columbia reminds me of Magic City. Magic City is a very famous celebrity slash rapper strip club in Atlanta, but that's not here or there. The point is, the comparison Magic City with the black culture, the ratchetness, the ghetto. That's Columbia 24/7, literally. They not as flashy as the common folk in Atlanta. See, Columbia is different. Columbia is a mixture. You got your Geechee, which are like the traditional natives of South Carolina. They're like, the Creoles. And then you got the regular common folk. And the biggest difference over there is the language, one, because they all have a funny accent. I couldn't understand a lick of English from half of the drill sergeants I've had because they were so tie-tongued and country. And then, if it wasn't them, it was just the regular common folk I kept bumping into, like the people in the clubs. When I used to go to the clubs and the bars and twerk and shake my little tail feather when I was a young buck in my 20s. Yes, I went to the clubs. Yes, I was sinning and grinning. I have no shame. But it was that type of place that was literally on demon time. I'm not joking. Like, South Carolina, depending on where you are, besides Columbia, is a place where you can get buck wild, get in a lot of trouble, because I've seen a lot of recruits get in trouble, and either end up going down the wrong path, or you stay on the right path and you focus on yourself and you don't deal with the common folk. See, this is what I'm talking about. When I say common folk, I'm talking about civilians, people who are non-military affiliated citizens of that city. So, for example, the civilians who are non-military affiliated in Columbia, South Carolina, were either low income, unfortunately, very low income, poor, and a lot of them never had no schooling. There were a lot of people I came across in that town. Didn't have no teeth, didn't have no job, didn't have no house, didn't have a pot to piss in. But they were skinning and grinning in the clubs every weekend with their mouth full of golds. At the car wash, like the car washes out there, y'all know what I'm talking about. If y'all come from the country like I do, when I say everybody goes out to the car wash like it's a show, they either camp out at the car wash. That's called loitering, by the way. You can't really loiter. That's actually illegal. If it's not the car wash, it's the Sonic. If it's not the Sonic, they would camp out at the gas station. And it was like one big picnic. It was some crazy times. I'll tell you another quick story before I go. So when we went to a rap concert, I believe it was Plies, the rapper. That was my very first hip-hop concert ever, by the way. After the concert was over, we get outside, right? We're about to go back to our little hotel room. Then out of nowhere, they started raining bullets right outside the club. I had to duck for cover, take off my shoes, and run for the taxi cab. See, at that time, they didn't have Uber and Lyft, so we had to take what's called the yellow taxi cab for South Carolina to travel back and forth. Yeah, it was horrible. But yeah, it was very ratchet. Put it like that. But yeah, y'all let me know y'all's thoughts in the comments below. And let me know, I am curious, because it's been over 20 years since I've been to South Carolina, especially Columbia. I haven't been to Columbia in so long. But let me know, is it still ratchet? Is it still dangerous? Or has it changed? Has it been gentrified by the colonizers? I'm curious. Let me know in the comments below.